Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be 5 looks, 1 palette using the Norvina Volume 2 collection. If this is something that you are interested in, please keep on watching. And if you haven't watched it yet, part 1 using the Volume 1 palette is already up on my channel. So this is the palette that we're using today, which is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Norvina Volume 2 palette. I absolutely adore all the blue tones in this, and the first look I use pink, orange, and purple. So we're starting our first look off by priming my eyes, and I'm using the Anastasia Beverly Hills eye primer for every look so that they are consistent. So I'm going in with D4, which is a bright yellow shade, and that is going to be my transition color, and this is going to help me blend the pink and the orange later on. Next, I'm taking D2 and D3 and applying that to the inner half and outer half of my crease and blending that into the yellow. Now these kind of blended into each other, so I'm going to add more pink, and then I'm going to take that very first brush that I applied the yellow with and blend the edges again. And then I'm going to take the dark purple, which is C3, and I'm going to pack that on the outer half of my lid. Then I took a small e.l.f. brush and cut the inner half of my crease. If I was to film this look again, I would actually do a full cut crease and do the whole eyelid, but I didn't for when I was filming this video. And then I'm going to apply A3, which is the bright shimmery pink in the palette. It's the first color in the palette. I'm going to apply that to the inner half of the lid and blend it into that dark purple. Blended the pink and purple together, and then I went back in with the bright pink in my crease, and then I went back over the edges since I applied new color. And then after blending the edges, I decided I lost some of the yellow, so I went back in with the original brush, just added a tiny bit of that, and then I applied that same dark purple that I used and then the bright pink to my lower lash line and a little bit of the bright orange. And then I highlighted my brow bone and my inner corner. And then I really need to buy a new lash glue because this duo one takes forever to dry. But that is the final look. And then moving on to look number 2, which is this bright, beautiful green and yellow look. I'm starting off the look using A2, which is this bright yellow that has a greenish tint to it, and I'm going to apply that to my crease. Then I'm going to take B3 and a slightly smaller brush. I'm going to put this right in my socket. And I started by patting it and then blending it because I still hadn't found the method for applying these. And technically I filmed volume 2 before I filmed volume 1. So this is the technique that I used for this eye look. And then I slowly blended that into the yellow A2 shade. Then I took the teal, which is E3, and mixed it with B1, which is a slightly limer green. I applied that color mixture to my outer corner. This was me trying to deepen it up, but there isn't a dark green in the palette, so this is what I came up with. So then I cut my crease and then I applied A3, which is the shimmery lime green yellow shade, and I applied that to my lid. So after I applied that bright color to my lid, I put a little bit of the limey green and the deep green on my lower lash line, and then I applied a yellowish lime green liner, and that is the final look. So I absolutely loved look 2, but look 3 is probably my most favorite look that I did. I am absolutely loving these grunge vibes. When you look at this bright, big, bold palette, there is a ton of color combinations, but similar to how Jeffree plans out his palettes, I try to look at them as looks of 4. And this helps me with the Anastasia Beverly Hills regular palettes, the way that they're laid out. So I tried to do that for this look. I used this little block of 4 of C4, C5, D4, D5. And I was really inspired by the C4 and C5 color. I just knew I wanted to put those in the crease. And I loved the way it turned out. So like the previous looks, I'm going to start off with a primed eyelid, and then I'm going to start with that C4 shade, which is the bright blue, and then I'm going to add C5, which is the reddish burgundy color, and I'm using a very pointed, smaller crease brush for this because I wanted the application to be very precise and then build it up. So I took my time to blend those colors out and diffuse them the best I could. There is not a white or a blending shade in this palette, so I used my Wet n Wild Creme Brûlée color and used that to help blend the edges. I really wish this palette had a white in it or an off-white, but that's just my personal preference. So then I'm going to take D5, which is this gorgeous dark purple, and apply that to the outer half of my lid. And then I'm going to cut the crease and apply that D4 shade, which is kind of like a lime green yellow, but it's definitely more yellow. And using that creme brulee shade, I'm going to highlight my brow bone and inner corner. Now that that yellow shade is on my lid, you can definitely see it leans more lime green. Now all of these colors were super matte. There wasn't like a satin or metallic or shimmer in the palette that had this same color. So what I did was I took a little bit of C1 on my finger and very gently tapped that onto the eye, just where I applied that lime green yellow shade, and I did not apply it all over, just kind of in the center, just to give it a little bit more dimension. Then to tie the look together, I applied a little bit of that burgundy shade to my lower lash line with a little bit of the purple and tried to make it look very cohesive. And then that was me making faces, but that's the final look. Again, my lash is still not dry because this duo lash glue takes forever. And I used a Colourpop gel liner in yellow and applied that to my lash line. I really think it kind of plays off that lime green yellow really well, and it's so pretty. So then moving on to look number 4, this gives me total Sailor Mercury vibes. I absolutely love this look, and it was inspired by my sister who loves blue and teals, and I really wanted to play up the teals and this shimmer shade that I'm about to show you. I really just wanted to use that shimmery blue. So I'm starting off the look priming my eye. And then these are the colors we're focusing on. I really wanted to use that A5 shade. I take B5 and I'm going to apply that to my crease. And I'm keeping it on the inner half. Then I took B4, which is the color in front of it. It is a blue, but it has a slight purple undertone to it. So I applied that to the outer crease to give it more depth. So then I really focused on blending out those edges, and then I took the teal, which is E3, and I applied that to the outer corner. This was to bring in more green blue vibes into the look. So then I wet my brush using a setting spray, and then I took A5 and applied that wet to my lid. This is honestly the only color in this whole palette that made my jaw drop. The pigment was there, it stuck to my eye, it blended well, I didn't really have to force it on. It was gorgeous, and it stayed shimmery even after I finished the eye look. Very softly added those blues back in my crease to touch them up, and then I blended out the edges. Once again, I used Creme Brûlée from Wet n Wild, my little single shadow, because this color doesn't have a white or a blending shade. Then I used Creme Brûlée to apply to my brow bone and my inner highlight. Then I took that teal color and applied it to my lower lash line to bring color to it and tie the look together. So I wanted to do one colorful, bold look with a white liner. So I used Jeffree Star Druglord Velour Liquid Lipstick and applied that as a liner and went over it. And then I did mascara and lashes. And I did use the Colourpop Exhibitionist Blue Mascara. And then I used a pair of black false lashes. I did this because I wanted to see how blue it would make my lashes. And then I decided that the black lashes really didn't matter, that they would tie in together. And then this is the final look, which gives me such mermaid vibes looking at it. It is so pretty. And then here's a video clip and some pictures of me goofing off. I just wanted to show you both eyes at the same time. And I like posting like pictures like this on my personal channels as sneak peeks for my friends and family to see. So that's what these photos were for. And then finally moving on to look number 5, which happened to be another green look. But I don't hate it. I absolutely kind of love it. Same as all the other looks, I'm starting off by priming my eyes. And then I'm going to take a smaller crease brush and take that E1 teal shade and apply that to my crease. Then using that E3, which is the darker teal shade, I'm going to take that and take the black in the palette and put those in my inner and outer corner to start creating a halo eye. And I'm gonna go back and forth a few times to really build this up and blend it how I wanted it to be. So that I almost never do this, but I applied more eye primer to the center to really make this halo eye pop and be as bright and bold and beautiful as possible. So then the color that I'm applying on top is D1, which is this beautiful kind of gray blue shimmer. It's right above E1, which is our crease color that we used, and that's what I ended up putting all over the lid. And then making sure that I blended everything seamlessly into it. retouch up my crease color, and then I'm going to do my lower lash line and then apply mascara and lashes, and I used a Colourpop green gel eyeliner. And then that is the final look, and this look to me just screams so much more sexiness, and it might be because I added a little bit of black gel liner and smudged it on the lower lash line. I don't know, it might be the green color, but I loved this look and I would rock this every single day. And that was my final look in my Norvina Volume 2 5 Looks 1 palette. Please leave a comment and let me know what you thought of this video and what you think of the palette. Please give this video a like if you liked it, and please subscribe to my channel for future videos. The next video coming up in this series is going to be 5 Looks 1 palette using the Norvina Volume 3 collection.